If you try to corner this animal, it won't run, it turns, and it rises. 2 meters of muscle, a quarter of a ton, and where a kangaroo should have tiny forepaws, this one lifts 2 long clawed hands over your head and reaches down. A red kangaroo can already kill a man today. This one was 3 times the size. Yet it never tasted meat, not once. It ate leaves. So how is a vegetarian the deadliest kangaroo that ever lived? Keep that question. It changes everything. You know kangaroos. Long faces, grass, that spring-loaded bounce across the outback. Forget all of it. This animal came from a different branch of the family, the Sthenirines, the short-faced kangaroos. Not the ancestors of the ones alive today. They're cousins, an entire experiment in what a kangaroo could become, and not one survived. In 1873, anatomist Richard Owen pulled the biggest of them from Australian cave rock and gave it a name, Procoptodon Goliath. Goliath, as in Goliath, the largest kangaroo that ever lived, and it had abandoned the one thing every kangaroo is built to do. This monster was built by the land. So look at the land. The Pleistocene turned Australia hostile. Forests died back. Soft grass dried into hard, salt-crusted scrub, the same silver saltbush that still chokes the outback today. Eat here, and you had 2 options. Choke down the leathery, salty leaves nothing else would touch, or starve. Most kangaroos kept their heads down, grazing the last of the grass. One lineage looked up. It climbed into the shrubs, the low branches, the food no one else could reach, and to get there, its entire body started to break the rules. The first rule it broke was size. It became a giant. The biggest hopping animal alive today is the red kangaroo, about 90 kilograms. Procoptodon hit 240. Stack 3 red kangaroos into one body, stand it 2 meters tall, eye to eye with a grown man, and build it like a heavyweight boxer, not a sprinter. Why so huge? In a dying world, size is armor. A bigger body hoards fat and water, outlasts the droughts, and burns through freezing Ice Age nights. But every giant pays a tax on its own size, and one day that tax would come due, in a way no muscle could cover. The second rule it broke was its face, and this is where it turns frightening. A normal kangaroo has a long, soft muzzle and eyes set to the sides. Procoptodon's skull was smashed short and flat, both eyes swung forward. Forward eyes mean depth perception. On a wolf, a lion, a human, that's the stare of the hunter. On a kangaroo, it's wrong. And it had nothing to do with killing. Paleontologist Gavin Prydock read the chemistry sealed in its teeth and found saltbush, a salty, thirsty diet that chained this giant, for life, to standing water. Those hunters' eyes weren't for stalking, they were for aim, picking one perfect leaf, branch after branch. Everyone sells you the claws. The claws are the boring part. The feet are the story. Each hand carried 2 huge fingers tipped in claws, perfect for hooking a branch and dragging the leaves to its mouth. Nasty, but normal for a leaf eater. The feet are where it gets impossible. Every toe but one was gone. Procoptodon walked on a single massive toe, tipped with what looks like a horse's hoof. One question has divided scientists for years. Could a quarter-ton kangaroo even jump? In 2014, Christine Janis said no, these giants gave up jumping entirely and walked upright, 1 foot at a time, like us. For 10 years, that was settled. Then 2026 tore it open.
January 2026, Megan Jones and her team at Manchester went back to the bones, 94 living kangaroos, 94 fossils, the heel of Procoptodon goliah. The verdict flipped everything. Its foot bones were short, thick, strong enough to take the slam of a landing. Its heel could anchor a tendon thick enough to fire a hop. This was no scaled-up red kangaroo. It was reinforced. Picture the finished animal, a 2-meter browser that could rear up, stride like a heavyweight, and maybe explode into short, ground-shaking bounds. A creature, as Robert Nudd says, filling a role no kangaroo fills today. For one stretch of deep time, it had won. Then it was gone. 45,000 years ago, Australia's giants vanished, Procoptodon among them. You can read the ending at the Naracoorte Caves of South Australia, layer on layer of bone. Then, nothing. What killed them? A drying climate strangled its water and food, just as humans reached the continent, probably both at once, though we've never found one Procoptodon butchered by human hands. But the memory survived. In New South Wales, Aboriginal stories still tell of a giant, long-armed kangaroo that attacked people. So step back onto that plain, the hands rise. It never hunted you, it didn't have to. A quarter of a ton only has to catch you once. And Procoptodon was just one of the giants Australia lost. Marsupial lions, wombats the size of cars, lizards longer than crocodiles, all gone in the same blink of time. What wiped out an entire continent of monsters? That's next. Millions of years built a kangaroo as tall as a man, armed like a hunter, fed like a lamb. It rose, it ruled, it vanished. And nothing has dared to be a kangaroo like that again.